Hello everyone, it's Tasemi here, and today we're gonna be upgrading our Daigon sword into heroic version. And basically the Daigon sword I received it at the beginning of the Talandre expansion after a guild raid from my guild, which I'm still with. It's called Kosang Tortuga, and shout out to the guild leader Jimmy Dark, who's been very helpful, and all the guild members have been great. So yeah, good guild. If you want to a good casual guild, maybe join us. The first thing we're doing to upgrade this weapon is we need to remove the runes, and we need to basically we need to disconnect the sync as well if you have any other weapons equipped, because I had it synced to my wand, and my wand suddenly dropped to level 6, so at the end of the video I'll level that as well. In terms of heroics, I'm choosing the SNS heroic because it has a more block chance, more DR, and quite a bit more stats. And basically the build I run, which is SNS wand, relies on the SNS for a big portion of its damage and tankiness. SNS is my favorite weapon. The wand's cool, but yeah, it's second place to me. And yeah, so that's why I choose the SNS. And then why I choose Daigon is because Daigon is a very good DPS option for PvP and PvE, as long as it's not 1v1. Even in 1v1 it does activate, but it doesn't bounce between targets. It's best in 2v2 and above. And basically Whirling Shield is a great skill, and with Daigons it just goes bonkers. And the good thing about Daigon is that it scales with your base damage, and since our base damage goes up in the heroic version, the Daigon will scale as well. I don't think any other of these passives will fit my playstyle. So yeah, I'm betting on this. I'm gonna test it out, see how it goes. But yeah, so the main thing is we're getting our Daigon sword, which has been with us for a long time, since the beginning of the expansion provided by the guild. I'm gonna have it ascend to legendary status, and that's gonna be great. So currently we're looking into crafting the enchants and getting the extraction scroll and imprint scroll ready. What I learned is you only need one extraction scroll and one imprint scroll to get this done. Yeah, of course the weapon has to be unequipped as well, so let's do that. And the other thing I noticed is that Questlog has misleading information about this weapon. The heroic weapon, according to Questlog, has about 70 DR damage resistance, damage reduction, but actually the weapon itself in game has 43 damage reduction, which is still more than what Daigon had and what any other SNS had, but it's not a massive difference, about 15 more. Yeah, so now we're getting the mats together to get on with the extraction. I tried to record the audio for this video once, but it didn't work out because my mic was off, so I'm re-recording this now. Okay, Daigon, don't worry, just gonna be a change of form. We're not losing you. Oh, this looks like there's a hang up here, but yeah, I'm gonna get moving soon. I just didn't want to get it wrong because I haven't done the extraction in the imprint before. So that was nice and easy, not too expensive in terms of solent either. But yeah, the crap part about this is that at the end of it you have to pay for unlocking the room slots again, which is like a few million. And we got the max health trait, and I mean that trait is cool, but for my build I want the collision chance trait, because collision chance is a way for me to reduce cooldowns and to basically collision successfully applied is a way for me to reduce cooldowns and to also get the 20-30% SNS damage buff, which then with buff duration is significantly impacting my damage. So yeah, I bet on collision chance anywhere I can, and the build I have has low health at the moment, so it's going to be around 23,500 health. It could change in the future, but yeah, I have defenses to make up for that. So what we're doing now is trying to level up the weapon and see how far we get with the stones we got, because I have the bare minimum stones required according to Questlog to get it to 12, but RNGesus, it's all on him. So let's see. Yeah, we got a nice boost here. Oh, could be better at level 4. We're not too lucky on the RNG so far. Very slow. It took us like 4 tries to level from 4 to 5, and now we have this. This got us a big chunk of level 5. Yeah, level 5 took about 3 attempts as well, so this is gonna take a while. Look, we have 2 attempts for level 6. Yeah, so 3 attempts to get from 6 to 7. We had 3 attempts from 7 to 8. 4 attempts. And now we got the big boost, hopefully. So yeah, 5 attempts from 7 to 8. That's crap RNG. Okay, well, we got to 8.5. A bit. No, I thought I will get to at least 9 and 10, but oh well. We're gonna stock up on more of these shards and do this again. So the next thing we're doing is unlocking the traits. And bear with me on this, might take me a few clicks. So what I want to do is I want to RNG the trait and see what we get. And we got hit chance, which is totally useless for my build, because I go for a tanky SNS bond, and basically yeah, I can kill some DPS that don't have evasion, but yeah, if you have evasion I don't care. You're probably not going to kill me, so I'm just going to ignore you. So I don't stack much hit, maybe a 1k, 1.2k. And of course, if I can't hit you with melee, maybe I can hit you with the one skills. So yeah. So we're going for another RNG stat change, and I've basically calculated I got enough of these for what I need with the 2 heroic items. So yeah, I'm prepared to sacrifice 1,200 of these, and it's going to be good for the video as well. So let's see how the RNG goes here. Of course, I need to disenchant these other legendaries because I'm not going to use them. I've decided to use the pants as my armor item, and yeah, let's see. Okay, so we got buff duration, and that's an excellent result, because that is the most expensive trait. I think at the moment it runs for about 1.75k. So yeah, we ended up saving about 1.5k at least from this. And yeah, of course we're using our stones on unlocking the first level of the heroic trait. So I would basically recommend only using unlock stones for the first 2 heroic traits, and always re-rolling the first trait if you can. The first normal trait, as I did, is good to re-roll it because it's not that expensive, and you have a good chance of getting the one you need. And yeah, so after that we're checking the prices. So heavy attack chance, you can see the average value of it and what it sells for now. We're getting that. All of the prices are around the average value, so, and I've waited long enough, I'm not going to wait anymore, I'm just buying them. So let's see what collision chance goes for. And that's cheaper than the average. Well, that's fine. So we got these. Let's unlock them. 600k each. Ouch. Okay, so as you can see, I have stacked some T1 epics and some T2 rares, and basically you cannot use T1 rares on this for blessing, but you can use T2 rares. They give you 60 blessing each, and T1 epics give you 80. I'm not sure how much T2 epics give you, but I think it's around 100, 120. So what we need is 900 per trait, 900 blessing. Wow, okay, so that was 1% chance or 2% chance, and we had it successful. So we saved a lot of money here. And the traits, the rare ones, they go around between 15 and 20. And I'm basically using the ones I've farmed up and saved at the moment. So we're getting there. Spam all of them. So in total we're gonna need over 7k of this blessing. So what I'm gonna do is just stack all of it. See, we're using the first one. Yeah, so we nearly burned all of the ones we saved. And now we're going to do some research, because we have to buy more of these traits. We're going to check which one of the 3 trait lines is the most expensive, because we have the option of just choosing the cheapest of the 3 trait lines and just spamming the rares from that one, just buying all the rares from the cheapest line. At the moment I'm also checking whether it's worth just buying the heroic trait, and it's not. It's 5k, too expensive. Okay, so let's see how much collision chance goes for. 3 stars from 21, that's too expensive, so we go on to the next one. Of course, I have to search it here. Buff duration is even more expensive, 32. I can't believe that, you know, how high these prices go. I need to farm these. It would be good to sell them for 30 a piece. So then we're going for heavy attack chance, and that is way cheaper. So we're going for that. We're going to buy a ton of these. We're going to buy, because we get like, we need 15 per trait, and we need 6 traits, maybe 7, because we already leveled 2 of heavy attack chance. So 7 times 15, you get it. It's going to be a long time on the auction house just buying things. But luckily, and they keep under 20 loosened. So we're gonna buy a bunch of them, and then we're gonna use them all up, because it may be that we get another lucky upgrade, and then we're gonna be stuck with a whole bunch of T2s to sell, and we want to avoid that if we can. I think one thing you should watch out for is not consuming the epic T2 weapons that you hold for the actual blessing, like to actually use the blessing with. And I think you're gonna see that I kind of make that mistake, because I was just too focused on clicking that button. Of course, yeah, 36k a pop, it adds up, but you know, I've stacked up on Solent, no problem. And here we're actually hoping not to have this upgraded, because it allows us to buy more and more of these cheap rares. Because yeah, if it upgraded as it is 3 out of 4 now, it would basically we will not be able to buy any more heavy attack chance rares, and we'll have to probably buy the collision chance with the higher price, which yeah. Okay, so back on the auction house. I think that's kind of clever of the devs to do, because it gets the economy rolling, and yeah, there's a use for these T2 rares, some of them at least. Because yeah, I checked the T1 rare market and it seems to be completely dead. And quite a few of the armor T2 rares, they don't have much value, they're still at 10. So yeah, it's mainly the weapons and some of the armor traits like mana regen and max mana and so on, and cooldown reduction. So yeah, you should have a look at the rares you got, because some of them are valuable. I mean, if the rare sells for 16, anything above 15 lucent, the T2 rare sells for anything above 15 lucent, you can still make like 11, 12 lucent from it. I mean, that's not a lot, but it's still over the amount of extraction tokens you used, because yeah, it's 10 I think for a rare T2. So yeah, it's, in my book, if you need lucent, it's good to kind of sell these. And of course, if you don't sell them now, you're not going to sell them any more expensive later. Yeah, that's kind of the best case scenario for these rares. So sell them or just transmute them or disenchant or something. When inventory management in this game, oh, it's crazy. I spent like 2 hours just messing around, clearing my T1s, clearing my T1 rares, just selling stuff on the auction house, then artifacts. It's just like you spend 2 hours in a week messing around with the inventory. It's crazy. I mean, I think, yeah, also one tip while we're doing this, you see we all got over 2k. Blessing, we need about 5k more. One tip is to check your warehouse, and if you got any cooking materials in there, fish and so on, just take them out of your warehouse, and they're going to go immediately in this new tab in your inventory that basically is endless, and you're going to save a lot of space. I mean, I saved a lot of space doing that just this week. And the other tip is, yeah, if you got any resistance, because we're just wasting time buying these, so I'm just giving out any tips I can think of. The other tip is, if you got like normal resistance contracts and they're like level 2 or 3, the main thing about those is that they give a big amount of solent. So let's say level 3, it's like over 300,000 I think, and you have the option to share each of these contracts once with someone in your party. And if they accept, yeah, they get the same contract, but the rewards are random. But what is not random is the gold amount, the solent amount. Because yeah, so if you got a bunch of level 3 contracts, you can just share them with your buddy, and he's gonna have more solent as a reward. So yeah, I mean, that's a system that is not used much, I think. And the other thing I can talk about, why SNS can be a good way to solo farm SNS wand, and there's two reasons for that. So you got several buffs from Masteries that offer you 20 to 30% damage increase. So you got, I'm not going to give you Mastery names, but with Whirling Shield and Annihilating Slash you can get this buff that's 20 to 30%. Then Whirling Shield itself gives 100 heavy attack per target, and you can have up to 7-8 targets. So like you can get 800 heavy attack straight off, hitting a big group with that whirling shield, and you get 20% damage bonus. And if you're lucky, you can proc that, use that skill again, and you can get up to 1,200 heavy attack chance. And then when you use your curse bomb at that point, so you have put down the swamp curse, and then you curse explode with a like 2,000 heavy attack chance. You can do big numbers. And the other thing is, yeah, you can reset your cooldowns with morale boost, and that includes blessed barrier, which gives you most of your buffs and skills really can have 100% uptime if you do enough. If you have enough CDR, enough buff duration, and you use morale boost, and the passive from the mastery. There's two passives that are worth using from the overall mastery levels. One that gives you cooldown speed on low health. Also, we have the Guardian that gives you cooldown speed and a mana barrier. And you got the other one, which gives a 3-second reduction of the cooldown of any survival skill after you kill a target. So of course, that includes your heal, blessed barrier, and so on, and counter barrier. So that's a mandatory Templar passive. Okay, so we're gonna spam a whole bunch of these, and I think I get a bit carried away here, and I just consume the epic, which nets us a 70 lucent net loss, because I had to buy it again. But you know, it is what it is. We're still ahead in terms of the luck we had so far. Oh, I forgot to mention also the traits we had on the SNS. The ones that you RNG roll, they're not perfect for my build, but I don't care. They are a net boost to my CP, and I can use all of them. And later on, when we got enough materials, we can swap them to the ones we want. And that's what I would recommend you do. You just use your materials on heroic traits, level the normal traits with blues, and then when you have enough unlock stones and shards and stuff, then just reroll the other traits, the heroic stats they're called. And I go for heroic stats. I think I go for wisdom and cooldown reduction on this sword. Okay, so going back to SNS and why it's good why it can be okay for damage if you're solo farming and stuff. So you get the whirling shield, then we have the passive that allows you to get 150 damage boost every time you use shield bash, and any other skill, including one skills. So this boost is for your next skill really, but if you're spamming shield bash, it just boosts that or any other skill. You got two decent collision skills, so like the strategic rush is great, because if you can't push the target, you get a damage boost amplified by buff duration, and if you can push the target, you get a 20% damage boost, also very good with buff duration. And the third way you get another 30% damage is through the shot at victory, I think it was called, skill. And yeah, that one, it's nearly permanently up, and thanks to buff duration, and the total adds up to about 80%, 100% extra SNS damage. That's great in my book. Then when you add on top of that, you know, the spectrum of agony damage, it's pretty good. And every time you shield bash, which shield bash is basically up 24/7, you can spam it all the time, and it scales with your shield block as in terms of heavy attack chance. And so on Templar you're better off not stacking crit, but stacking some heavy attack chance, because the damage range of the weapon is very low in terms of, if you compare it to like the crit damage range of like crossbow or dagger or something else. You know, it's the window for big crit numbers is very small on SNS, so it's no point really stacking crit. then you can get you can get either Ray of Disaster or Enchanting Time to just boost your skill damage a bit more. And the thing is, we got a nerf recently to the Q, which offered 160 DR damage reduction, which is very, very sad, but you can actually, if you're solo farming, or even in PvP if you feel like it, but I would recommend it more for solo farming, you can swap that skill, that Q skill, with the one from Wand, and you're gonna get, on block you get either a heal or a smite kind of spell, and you also apply your Hand of Despair, or the basic curse from Wand. You apply it to all targets around you, and you also reduce all curse cooldowns by 3 seconds. And this is massive. If you're like, you have a pack of 12 mobs and they're all spamming these fury attacks, you block one or two or three, and suddenly your curse, your multi-target curse is up again. And my usual rotation is so we're buying more rares here, with just a bit more to go. My usual rotation is we pop the AoE curse, and that is thanks to Deep Secrets Wand and the passive on that. It moves in a zone with you, so what you can do is you can dash, you can strategic dash with that into targets, and it's very difficult to dodge in PvP. And what you can do, because it's a 5-second zone that moves around you, you can just pop that, and then once it's applied, combine it with the other curses you have and just explode it immediately. And then if the target's still in your circle, then you reapply it immediately. And once, so you get 2 uses out of that skill every time you actually use it. And at the same time, if you're getting hit by fear attacks and you're blocking them with the Q from Wand, the next AoE curse you use is gonna be like, it's Corrupted Magic Circle, it's called. It's gonna be almost immediate, so you can have 100% uptime of your curses, really. And that massively increases damage. And if you take the Wand traits and passives for increasing curse damage, that's great. And with healing, Vampiric Contract and Swift Healing is awesome if you combine them with a permanent Blessed Barrier. You got so much. Even with the nerfs we had, you still have so much healing. Okay, so now we're doing the traits. We're finishing off the. We're consuming all the blessings we had. We had about 7k in actual blessings, and we have a whole bunch of leftover rare traits, which we're gonna sell later. And of course, I'm missing one epic, which I consumed by accident earlier. So we're gonna have to buy another one, and then we're done with the traits. So I mean, you can DPS with SNS, but yeah, just mainly for solo PvE, some bosses and stuff, some solo bosses. It's okay in low-level dungeons. I don't know about like high tier competitive content, but yeah, I think it can work there too. Because what else you got if you're looking at SNS? What else you got? You got the, you can pull a bunch of mobs to you. You can have more healing, or you can have enhanced stamina again, or the Belandir passive, which is once every 18 seconds, which is very kind of big cooldown, even on the upgraded one. You just don't have that many damage related SNS passives, and the ones that are not damaged, they're just not that impactful either. And of course, yeah, it depends how you set your build up. So we got the shield, looks cool. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna level our wand, because after I disconnected the sync to my Daigon sword, it just went to level 6. So let's see if we get better RNG on this. How many? So far we're at 3 attempts to levels, 4 attempts, 5 attempts. Oh, that was not good. So now we have 2, 3 attempts, 7 to 8. Attempts 8 to 9. Yeah, it's rough leveling these weapons up. Good thing I had saved some stones and some enchanted Broadstone. Yeah, that was lucky. 9 to 10 was lucky. So overall, yeah, I mean, after level 10 it seems I have some luck, so alright, so that's done. So the next thing we're gonna do is have a look at our combat power. But this number here that you're seeing on screen is misleading because I forgot to slot in my runes. I think the number is actually about 6,800, the actual number, because as you can see my runes are not in, and yeah, so that drops the CP a bit. And we got the goblins coming in, but I'm not going to chase goblins now. I'm going to finish the video. The next thing we can do is look into the pants and upgrade some of that. So I got endurance, hit chance, and debuff duration. I mean, decent traits. I like the pants because they offer damage reduction passively, and they also give me 320 heavy attack evasion. And for Templar, the only thing you die to really is magic damage or heavy attacks. So you need a lot of heavy attack evasion, that's priority, or criticals. And the criticals we reduce with endurance, triple endurance, and we reduce with critical damage reduction. And shield pen, of course, you die to that, and mana burn, but and heal reduction, all kinds of stuff you can die to. The curses we deal with by stacking debuff duration. I got about 35%. But yeah, the main threat I think is a crit that goes heavy attack. That's the main threat we're facing in PvP situations currently. So the pants, they're the only actual item that I can think of that gives 320 heavy attack evasion. So I think that's just a vital stat for survival. And then yeah, when we take double resistance leader rings for another 220 heavy attack evasion, and the belt with heavy attack evasion, and some artifacts and so on, and runes, and we're set really. We can survive quite a bit of burst. And I mean, the pants, even at level 0, I just did the comparison, they are stronger than my victory pants that are fully upgraded and traded. So I'm just swapping to them because of the 2000 passive health and 300 magic defense, and the basic defense at level 0 is higher than what we got on my leveled pants. So we're just buying all the traits and we're just upgrading them. And on this occasion you can see it's worth it more to me to just buy the actual traits from the auction house, because they are cheaper. They're cheaper than bothering with rares, because it's gonna be more expensive for me to buy rares and then one epic to level them. I think I had stacked some of my dropped rares in the pants, and I only used blessings once on them. I don't have enough to unlock the heroic trait yet, but I'm gonna unlock it later. I think I'm choosing perception. Well, yeah, I think it's perception. But you can check Questlog. I'm gonna put my Questlog in the video description. So we need to buy some more traits. That looks good. So I was having a dilemma here whether to get max health instead of this mana regen, but I don't have the money currently. I don't have the stones, and I'm not going to have them a long time to convert this mana regen to max health, which is what I had in my build. So I've decided to leave max health in and level it, and then I'm going to bother with it in a few months. But actually the decision between max health and mana regen is difficult, because yeah, those are the two stats I like. Mana regen, if I stack enough of it across my items, I might be able to get rid of this passive, which is get mana on block. And if I don't have to use that, and I don't have mana issues, I can slot in another damage passive from wand probably, and increase curse damage or something similar. Just because at the moment there's so many good passives on SNS wand, and you only got 6 slots. It's just a shame really. And the only one I could cut is probably the one that restores mana on hit, on blocking really, or evading and dodging. So we're looking at our stats here. Critical damage resistance about almost 70% without the food, and it's gonna increase because my build's not full. I think at the moment my priority is upgrade the heroic weapon to level 12, and then fully upgrade the pants, and after that try and craft these new rings and stuff. But yeah, I want to farm the nebula accessories myself. I don't want to have to pay like 12k for something, because the set of accessories, it grants us 1k health and 60 heavy attack evasion, which is great. I really like that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed making the video, and yeah, upgrading my character. I gotta swap quite a few of the accessories, but it's gonna be later. Currently they do the job. So anyway, if you learned something from this video, well, please subscribe, press the share button, the like button, and yeah, leave me a comment. That helps me keep the channel going, and yeah, I'm doing all of this to kind of help people learn.